Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to your Monday night. It is me, JT the Redneck. I got Sully the Geek tied up, dragging him right behind me because he was screaming and hollering, I don't want to go. Tonight, episodes 3 and 4 of the new Marvel series, What If? Do me a favor, grab your favorite adult beverage or whatever it is you want to drink, something to munch on, sit back in that beanbag chair and enjoy the ride because, Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, I thank you, sir. I'm glad it's all mine. It's mine, and there's nothing you can do about it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. I am the geek slash nerd slash Marvel guy, the know-it-all, so to speak. And as JT said, he's the redneck. And yeah, I know it's crazy, right? Saying all that stuff, it's crazy, JT. It's crazy.
Just trying to figure out how you remember all of that, or do you have a script written out for you?
No, I kind of just go by the seat of the pants, you know? Want to say hi to everybody who's tuning in via TikTok and Twitch and YouTube and all that wonderful good stuff. If you are a Marvel fan, this is kind of the podcast for you, I guess.
Can we really even call it a spoiler alert? Because
it's been out for
as long as this has been out already.
Yeah, it's been out for a while now. I mean, the episodes came out between Christmas and New Year's, so. Right. Yeah.
Well, I want to say hi to our good friend and silent third member of the Sully Show, Miss Lady Death, aka Nikaya, who's in the chat room with us tonight. She goes, episodes 3 and 4. I'm behind. Then I just watched 1 and 2.
Yeah, you are behind. Just saying, putting it out there. So yeah, for those that want to get down to
I'll tell you this, Nikaya. I don't think any way that we can actually describe either one of these episodes will truly give you the full feel for the episodes. So you still need to go and watch these if you hang around for the show.
I agree 100% of what he just said. I do.
She watched 1 and 2 at work.
well, the other thing is when it comes down to What If Season 3. Now, obviously, we know this is the last season. We know that they're not doing any more after this. We know that it's a part of the multiverse. We know that all hell is breaking loose. Quite literally, because on Friday this week, Captain America Brave New World comes out for Valentine's Day. So if you want to take that special someone out to see Captain America, by all means. And a lot of people are like, oh, Captain America's coming out. Listen, it's a Marvel movie. Go see it. Don't go see it. I, for one, can't wait to see Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. Not going to lie. Just putting it.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. But for now, this is a spoiler warning right now because we are going to start going down the rabbit hole of What If Season 3, Episode 3.
Nikaya asked if she could make one comment about episode 1.
Sure, absolutely, she can.
I told her to go for it, so I'm waiting that to come up in the chat room.
And I want to say hi to so many people on TikTok. Hello, everybody. We got Chuck, we got Carol, we got John, we got Lenia. Lenia? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Barry, there's Beth, there's Moose. Love that name, Moose. We got, let's see, Seth, Shell, Flea, Aaron, Frank, Keith. Oh, hello, everybody. Lori, Cynthia. Hello, Tim.
Everybody hanging out in TikTok land.
Yeah, I'll try to keep up. Obviously, it's a podcast, but please comment, have some fun with us. If you've seen episodes 3 and 4 of What If from Marvel, by all means, start talking about it because we love interacting with everybody and we love the fact that you guys are tuning in, saying hi, and doing whatever you need to. And also, tell your friends. If you got a Marvel fan that you know of that's like, die hard, let's do this shit. Let's do it. Okay? And yes, we're PG-13. This one we kind of go a little off the deep end, but we still try to keep it PG-13. So what did Lady Death in our Twitch chat say about episodes one or two?
He said the Hulk episode, which was episode 1, reminded me of a weird spin-off of a King Kong versus Godzilla movie.
Didn't I say that last week too?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, you made that comparison.
I did.
So you're not by yourself in that thought.
You're not,
Mr.
no.
Kaya. Yeah,
no, absolutely not. And it felt like that. It felt like it was a good, a good homage to the Godzilla films, Pacific Rim, all of those types of movies where the monster comes out on top sometimes. Wow, it just made my phone go all weird and crooked. That was messed up stuff. Anyway, so
what the hell's going on there?
So let's get down to it. This week, the Red Guardian interferes with the Winter Soldier's mission to kill Howard Stark. Yeah. What if the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier? Personally, I love this episode. This episode was great. I love that they put the Red Guardian out in the forefront, especially since it's going to lead up to him kind of being out in the forefront when it comes to the Thunderbolts movie that'll be coming out soon. Obviously, it's a different timeline. I get it. It's there. We know it's there. But it's good. Because we start off in Ohio, which is where Black Widow began. Yeah. Suburbs of Ohio. Good old Red Guardian, also known as the Russian Captain America.
Right.
That's what he is. He's the Russian Captain America.
Quick question.
Sure.
I want to confirm something in my head.
Okay.
Is this Red Guardian the same as the Red Guardian that was in episode 1 with the beard? And is that the same person or no?
Same person.
Okay. I thought it was just a young version of him, but I wasn't sure.
Yep. Red Guardian is the same guy. And the best part is I love that he, what's his name? David Harbour voiced him for What If, too.
Well, and he definitely played the brainwashed Russian
really does.
To a freaking T.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he does it for Mother Russia.
His bravado and everything, and the mannerisms, the things that he said. I'm like, yeah, he's pure Russian.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, we start the episode off when we're in Ohio, and the Red Guardian gets assigned an undercover Red Room mission. Yes, a Red Room mission. Now, for those who are like, what's the Red Room? Not what you're thinking. Okay? It's not what you're thinking.
No, this is not a Red Room from Denmark.
Or in 50 Shades of Grey. But
that too.
It is not that type of Red Room. No. This is where all the Russian spies, the Black Widows, all of them are a part of the Red Room. And they were all under the command of Dreykov. Yes. But Red Guardian's like, whoa, hold it. I'm a little, no, can't do it. I feel like you're not utilizing my skills whatsoever. And he gets really angry with Dreykov. I have to do it right. It's Dreykov. I have to sound like I'm Red Guardian. Dreykov. It's Dreykov. And of course,
real quick, want to say hi to our good friend Carol.
Hi, Carol. how are you? And I want to say, I would love to point out every single name that pops up, but there's so many going through right now. Hello, everybody on TikTok. Thanks for joining us. And we're talking about Marvel's What If Episode 3, The Red Guardian Interferes with the Winter Soldier. Okay? So for him, Red Guardian's like, listen, I know what you're doing. I don't like it. I don't feel like you're utilizing my skills the way they should be. So I'm going to help out. I'm going to utilize my skills and be fantastic.
Maybe I should go work for somebody who will appreciate my skills.
Yeah. Also known as he's pretty much quitting the Red Room. But while he's there, the Red Guardian is like, okay, well, I know what's happening. I know what you're trying to do. No, don't do it. And then he also says the coolest thing. He says, I would rather trust the Winter Soldier with important missions than a guy named Rook, who is a sleeper agent.
No, he was upset that Dreykov.
Well, it's Dreykov.
Would rather trust the Winter Soldier. Well, and I mean, here's the thing, though.
He is a killing machine.
To his, playing devil's advocate here, you're the one that said that you weren't going to do the mission.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
You're the one that turned the mission down. So what do? They go to the option number 2, which is who?
Hell
the Winter
Hydra.
Soldier.
That's what they do. Hell Hydra.
Next in line. Next in line.
It's funny. Even with Winter Soldier, the movie Captain America Winter Soldier, it just goes to show how deep Hydra got, especially if they were also in the Russian spy game, the Red Room, the Kremlin, like all of that. They were all over the place, and it was crazy their reach, that they went from just this one-sided scientific military special project under Hitler to almost global domination. Global domination. So when Hydra reactivates the Winter Soldier now, Red Guardian goes and checks all the intel files from Rook, because sleeper agent who basically doesn't know when to either shut up or do his job the right way. He's probably the worst spy ever for the Red Room, if you think about it. He's not that bright. And if you don't know who Rook is, it's also Obadiah Stane, who we've seen in Iron Man 1. Okay? That's the sleeper agent, so to speak. Also known as the guy who was, funding the Hand. The 10 Rings. And just being an overall douche. We'll just call him that. He was just being an overall douche. Okay? Well, the goal was, let's take out Howard and Maria Stark. They've seen too much. We need to do this.
Well, they're still trying to get the super soldier serum.
Well, yes, they are. And in this case, and again, I'm not 100% convinced in the MCU that they actually perfected the super soldier serum after Captain America.
Right.
I'm really not. Because, yes, the stuff that was in the trunk of the car was the super soldier serum. But I'm just not convinced it was the same exact formula as Cap's super soldier serum. Okay?
Right.
Which then leads
because they had to recreate it.
Right.
Out of Cap's blood.
Right. Want to say hi to my buddy Meg, who says hello via TikTok. Hello. We give love where everything is involved. I don't care if I mention all the other places either. I really don't. We're live everywhere because we like to syndicate ourselves and stretch ourselves so thin that we can never keep up. Ever. Never keep up ever. But that's besides the point. So the goal is go kill Howard and Maria Stark. And, the rule is for Winter Soldier, leave no witnesses. No witnesses. We don't want them. So, in order to do that, he's got to kill everybody. But because he's such a nice guy, I think I can refer to him as a nice guy. He's very confused, but he's a nice guy. The Red Guardian.
Bad guy with good intentions.
There you go. See, he's a thunderbolt. In the movies, anyway, not in the comics. Don't even get me started on that. That's a whole nother ball game. But
yeah, no, we don't want to go there.
That's going down a rabbit hole you don't want to come from. Just
that's going down a termite hole we don't want to go down.
That'll turn into Alice in Wonderland. So anyway, obviously the two of them fight now because Winter Soldier's like, no, I need to, do whatever, and this is my job. And Red Guardian's like, no, don't do it. Don't do that. And the two start fighting. Not only do the two start fighting, but I would say they did some pretty good damage at the scene of the car accident. Right?
It was a decent fight. Not one of the best ones we've seen, but yeah, it was a good fight.
Not a huge fight, but a fight nonetheless. But you also see some similar things happening in this episode with just this fight scene, like the shield being caught by Bucky. We see that. That was straight from Captain America Winter Soldier. And I think he threw it back at him, if I remember correctly. But what happens is Winter Soldier now reports back to what's his name there, Karpov, if I remember.
Yes.
Karpov, if I remember correctly, where he says this is what happened, and he goes, "Well, you failed. You blew it, dude. You blew it. You blew it. And since you blew it, you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sending anybody to get you out. You're on your own. Good luck. Have fun. Nice knowing you."
And, Winter Soldier's like, I've never failed before.
I've never failed a mission.
Because technically, he hasn't.
Well, is it really
up to that point? Up to that point.
But is it really that he failed, or was it more of a foiled plot?
Yeah, he was interfered with. He had outside interference that wasn't expected. But even then, you're still supposed to be able to complete your mission. And in this case, he did get the serum.
Yes.
But he failed to leave no witnesses.
Yes.
So, granted, there was the outside interference, but he still failed to complete his mission. So, technically, yes, he did. Sure.
Well,
but at the same time, I disagree with that too because, Red Guardian showed up and blew the whole freaking thing.
But from here, though, now we have, as I like to call, the buddy cop show / movie. Because some of the stuff that was going on was hysterical.
A little bit of Paul Blart.
Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I will go with that. I thought some parts of that movie were funny.
There were times that that's what I was reminded of.
Yeah. So now begins the buddy cop scenario going on here, and while everything is like, oh, you failed, good luck, you're on your own, both Red Guardian and Winter Soldier, they meet up at a diner, and the two of them are just, they're not really getting along, but they're not really fighting either. You can see that there's annoyance with Winter Soldier. And, granted, he is their biggest killing machine. Fully programmable to mess you up. But even Red Guardian's like, well, what if we get Rook to help? And by the way, here's all the files. Here's the stuff that I stole.
Yeah.
From Dreykov.
Right in the middle of a restaurant of top secret, highly classified Russian info.
Which I thought was hysterical.
Yeah.
Which is why I say the Red Guardian's not really a bad guy. You know?
Yeah, he is not a highly clandestine type individual.
No, definitely not. And,
in any way, shape, or form.
But at the same time, if you think about it, the Red Guardian in just the diner scene alone, okay, just this scene alone, he's thinking nobody cares. No, nobody's going to look over our shoulder and look at this stuff in a crowded diner. Like, we're just two guys here. That's it. So I understand his line of thinking. So he goes, all right, listen, let's go find Rook. He'll be in Vegas. Maybe he can help us.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. I got to learn how to do the Russian accent a little better. Las Vegas. Yeah, yes. I can do Dreykov very well. Dreykov. That one's not that difficult to do. Dreykov.
Right.
Well, it would be Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas. I'd have to practice that a little bit. I gotta hear the dialect in order to try and practice it. So what they do is they steal a car to go to Nevada, and unfortunately for them, they run into a little bit of a roadblock by the name of Shield.
Yeah, just a small one.
And first, I love that Guardian is the one driving, because you can just see how pissed Winter Soldier's getting. Just because of him blabbering his mouth.
Well, and, if it was in regular conversation, that might be okay, but he was just spewing.
Oh, just
Russian. What the hell's the word? He was spewing old Russian talking points. I can't think of the name of it.
Secrets?
Right now, no, not secrets. Just the way they thought.
Oh, yeah. Their own opinion, so to speak. Their own opinion, yes. Well, they get pulled over, obviously.
Propaganda, that's the word.
Oh, there you go. Propaganda. Well, with the help of the local police, Foster, there's a gentleman by the name of Foster, approaches the car, and he doesn't buy anything that the Red Guardian's saying. So he's like, why don't you guys step out of the car? And what's that? And he sees the Red Guardian.
Sees the shield.
He sees the Red Guardian's shield, and you're like, all right, here we go. What's going to happen next? So instead of getting out of the car, Guardian floors it. Classic getaway.
Well, he floored it after you see Winter Soldier point a gun at him.
That's true. We did see that. But again, that goes with the frustration that Winter Soldier was getting from Red Guardian.
Well, and he still runs by the rule of no witnesses.
Yep. Well, yeah, because that's what he's programmed to do.
Mm-hmm.
No witnesses. Kill. Well, just so you know, if you haven't noticed yet, Foster is actually Bill Foster, who was also in Ant-Man and the Wasp as the former Goliath. Okay, former Goliath. Worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, with Winter Soldier pissing Foster off. Yeah. Guardian is now trying to stop Winter Soldier from killing somebody, and he's also trying to save their asses so they can get out of there without getting killed themselves. And now Foster is in pursuit. not only pursuit from, just running after him, but he threw on the Goliath suit and is now larger than they are and coming after them very quickly. Well,
Jolly green giant size.
well, in our view, slow as hell, but coming very quickly. Because that's the only way he's going to catch up to them. So, clearly, Bucky tries to shoot him down, doesn't work. Guardian grabs his shield, stops Goliath from attacking them directly. But then they also find out they're driving toward a cliff.
Yes, and at this point, I would like to mention that the car that they stole.
Yes.
Oh,
It was
God,
nice
it's a beautiful car.
It kind of reminded me of Coulson's car.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's a straight out muscle car from back in the 80s.
I love it.
Looks like an old SS Sport or something like that.
Yeah.
Just beautiful car. You can hear it in the motor, everything. Just
hit the moon.
But anyway, continue. Sorry.
We're going down a rabbit hole. So afterward, obviously, Winter Soldier's like, go faster, we can do this, go faster. They end up missing. And we got Ms. Morales there and says that she's staying on the case. We're going to bring them both to justice. We're going to bring them in because, let's face it, they are criminals.
And for the jump, just think of Homer accidentally trying to jump the gorge.
Oh, the gorge. Yes, the gorge in The Simpsons.
Yes.
See, this is what I like about this episode, is it's paying homage to a lot of things that have already happened. I mean, you can even say Thelma and Louise if you wanted to.
Was it this episode?
Just saying. So Foster checks out the car and finds a Thomas guide. Now, the Thomas guide, for those that don't know what a Thomas guide is, you remember those spiral atlases? Yes, this is before GPS, folks. Before MapQuest, before Google Maps, before Waze. They had
This was
books,
where everything was on a map that you actually had to be able to read.
and you had to flip through the pages in order to find where the frickin' hell you were.
Yep. It was not fun.
But I can guarantee you, JT and I know how to read it. Because we were taught.
We had no choice.
Now the GPS does everything for you. And don't get me wrong, I'm okay with that. I'm a little bit of a lazy person these days. I don't want to flip through a page while I'm driving.
It went like this. We're going on a family road trip. Sully, you're the navigator. Here.
And God, heaven forbid if you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that either. You don't want to fall asleep.
Or make a wrong turn.
Also true. That would suck. So one of the pages was missing, and they figure out that they're trying to get to Las Vegas. So in the process, they take cover in a veterinary hospital, which I thought was genius, by the way. Because Bucky took a few bullets, didn't tell Guardian at all. He's like, all right, well, we got to treat your wounds, so let's do it.
Well, it was funny because, well, you didn't say anything. Winter Soldier never complains.
It's true. He never does. I think these days, yeah, because he's back to being, a little bit more humanized.
He's back to himself. He's back to Bucky.
He's back to being Bucky, the hero. Not the villain, the hero. But anyway. So they go through, he patches Bucky up, and quite frankly, he needed to. He was losing blood. That's no bueno. You don't want to do that. But Guardian starts to tell him that he came from a family of nobodies. Like, he's just offering up his his backstory.
Right.
I'm just a nobody, but you know what? I'm protector of homeland. Yeah.
Mhm.
Red Guardian is Russian version of Captain America. Red Guardian. He's got the super soldier serum too. You know? And at this point in time, Cap is still on ice, so he is nowhere to be seen. Bucky's the only other one aside from the other Winter Soldiers that have the super serums in them. So why not? What are you going to do? Even Bucky's like, his memory is shot because of all the, what would you say, reprogramming or reconditioning and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
At least I would say. Want to thank
Yeah.
Meg for sending me some gifts on TikTok. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, as always. Appreciate it. So he goes, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can help you remember some things. And even Bucky's like, you know, I remember certain things from Coney Island. And if you think about it, that would make perfect sense because at least now we're tying it back to the original Captain America. Not to the Stark Expo, but we're still tying certain things because they did go to Coney Island, you know. And then the other thing is he starts talking about rides. And that's when Winter Soldier goes, you know, I got a call from Dreykov. I love saying it that way, Dreykov. And that he was told to kill the Red Guardian. So now we got a problem. Kill the bastard. No, he saved me. Now, you know, now you've got this toss up of what's going to happen next. Is Bucky actually going to kill the Red Guardian? Which, honestly, I don't think you can. You know? I mean, he's a super soldier. So how can you, aside from beheading him, he's got a pretty good healing factor too. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So they get to Vegas. They're in Las Vegas now. And they go and find Rook, also known as Obadiah Stane. The Baldy.
Yeah.
He doesn't work for Stark. Maybe he does. It's not clear. But Rook, I mean, you know, it's all right, I guess. He wants America to collapse. That's his goal. What is the words he said? Undermine America's capitalistic society.
Yeah, that was it.
Also known as he's a warmonger. Because we know that. We know he's a warmonger. And he just wants to, you know, destroy the United States. He wants to rule the world. Rule the world. Well, Bucky says, listen, mission sucked. I failed because of this douche. I need transport back to Russia. And that's when Stane goes, you know, if you were a spy, I would just trade info on the serum. So clearly, Rook is the reason to take out Stark, which clearly was never revealed in the original movies, which, I don't know, that might have been a good factor to have, you know? I mean, if you think about it, it kind of worked out where you kind of had to put two and two together with that one. because of the fear mongering and the warmongering and the selling to both sides. That's what Obadiah Stane did. Because now that they're still alive, he can't take over Stark Industries, so he can't do what he wants to do. Which is bad. Because that makes him angry. But that's when Red Guardian is like, okay, now you're pissing me off. And that's when you really see the sinister side of Stane come in. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm sure you would agree with me on this, that in Iron Man, you kind of knew Stane was going to be the main bad guy and the Ironmonger and all of that. And he had that background of, I'm taking over Stark Industries. I'm going to do what I want to do because it's best for business and so on and so forth. But it's also going to make me money. Because I'm making these weapons, it's going to keep Stark Industries afloat and so on and so forth. But seeing this side where he's actually working with the Russians, kind of, like, to me, it kind of makes him Hydra. You know?
Yeah, I would have to agree.
So, as, they continued to talk, Stane goes, I knew you failed the mission. I know you're dumb. How dare you? But you know what? I'm going to try and kill you anyway. And he does. He tries to kill them. But Bucky actually has a change of heart, protects Red Guardian, and kills Stane instead. Who, if I remember correctly, goes flying out a window. And goes, wee.
All I could say when that happened was, whoops.
Kind of reminded me of the Joker falling off the cathedral tower in Batman. I'm free falling. Free falling. So obviously now that Winter Soldier and Red Guardian are kind of on the run, they know the Red Room doesn't trust them. They know people are going to be after them now. And that's when all of a sudden a Red Room task force comes in and tries to kill them. They manage to escape, which is fantastic, by the way. But this is where that buddy cop feeling comes in. Because you have the, everything is annoying me, I'm going to kill you, like Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon. And Red Guardian is more like Riggs. Only Russian. They're both, Russian at this point. Well, Bill Foster shows up with Morales. They see Stane's body and they conclude that something's not right. Not right at all. How come he died, but not the Starks? And then we see the two running out the casino. So that kind of puts them on the run, so to speak, again. Only this time, S.H.I.E.L.D. is after them. No bueno. No bueno. So what happens next, I wonder? What happens next? You're thinking very hard about this.
I wonder.
Is it an epic fight scene?
Does the chase begin again?
Kinda. I mean, it does kind of continue if you think about it.
Very short chase.
Yeah, I mean, it really only gets to the point where correct me if I'm wrong, but it was more along the lines of just up against a wall type of thing. They weren't. I can't remember, but I don't think they
almost
were.
like they were inside of like a merry-go-round.
Yeah,
An enclosed merry-go-round
yeah,
kind
I
of
would
thing.
have to say that. I mean, either way, besides being chased by Shield, Goliath catches Red Guardian, and the Red Room kind of. I mean, I'm trying to find the exact words for it because we get to the point where Winter Soldier says that Dreykov said to kill you, but I didn't listen. So here, take this and go. I'll buy you some time.
And what he hands him or attempts to hand him is the one remaining vial of super serum.
Yes.
Or super soldier serum. Super serum soldier. Yeah.
That thing there. That thing there.
But yeah, the only reason that he told him that Karpov wanted him to kill him was because somehow they got in front of the SHIELD team and the cops and everything that were coming up.
Right.
And they got in there first, and Karpov is reading out of the Winter Soldier's little book and trying to, I guess you could say, kind of reboot him, reactivate him.
Yeah. He's
reprogram him so that he will kill the Red Guardian.
Yeah, and you don't want that because if that happens to Winter Soldier, oof.
Yeah.
Because what was it? I think they had to say it 3 times, right? Or no, it was all.
He just had to get through. He had to get through the entire statement.
Yeah, all the words.
All the code words.
Yeah. What was it for resetting Winter Soldier? Longing, Rusted Furnace, Daybreak, 17, Benign, 9, Homecoming 1, and Freight Car. But in Russian, and I don't know what those are.
Those are the code words.
Yeah, those are the code words, but in Russian. And I can't pronounce them.
We're not even going to try.
So I'm not even going to try. If there's somebody who does know Russian, please spell it out for me so I can pronounce it. Because otherwise, nope.
I think this is one of them things that we should just move on.
Yeah. Well, since that's happening, obviously Hydra's trying to gain control again. Not happening. But Red Guardian says, "Listen, I'm not leaving you. I'm here to help. Like, no, you're my guy, man. I'm your bud.
My friend.
Yeah, you're my friend." Well, since Karpov is reciting the code words, Winter Soldier resists, which is fantastic. And the Red Room soldiers kind of, do some things, just a little. But Winter Soldier and Guardian join the fight and kick some ass.
Yeah, some.
To an extent. I mean,
yeah.
Bucky does get captured again. Unfortunately, he's brought to the Hydra facility in Siberia with all the snow and everything. So, he starts.
And Red Guardian gets away, but Bucky got snagged.
Yep, Bucky got snagged. Guardian got away. He's doing what he needs to. But Bucky also says that he died. He died as a Russian hero. Dreykov, however, Dreykov not satisfied. Not satisfied at all. So he orders the memories purged from Winter Soldier.
Poor guy.
So, Guardian obviously stays in the States, which is great for him. Working
Not
as a
so much for his students, though.
well, I mean, he's working as a gym teacher, so I think that works.
The perfect example of what kind of a gym teacher he is. Bombardment. Bombardment.
I mean, come on, why not? Practice makes perfect, wouldn't you say?
So that's who that character is in The Simpsons. It's the Red Guardian.
Exactly. Exactly. And it works that way. It works. So, Foster shows up, gives him his shield back, says, "Hey, we recovered this, thought you might want it." And he asks, "Why don't you just arrest me? Like, what's going on here? Why aren't you doing your job?" And that's when he says, "Well, Shield could use your help. We got a little thing going on, and we could use your help on this."
Right.
And he gets him to join the Avengers, which then changes the Battle of New York in this timeline, by the way. Because if you watched closely, it was Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, and Red Guardian.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it was Thor,
Thor, Black Widow.
Red Guardian pushed his way in between
Yes.
Thor and what's her name?
Yes. He came up front and center. Hello. Here I am. But that just means the battle for New York was a little bit different in this timeline than it was for the 616 timeline, or the MCU, also known as the comics, which is good. But that was the end of the episode. End of the episode.
So give me your thoughts then, sir.
Well, my thoughts are this was actually a great episode. I love that they did the whole buddy cop type thing on the run. So they weren't even real cops or anything like that. But I like that they went that route with Winter Soldier, who's serious and grumbling, and Red Guardian, who just wouldn't shut up. I mean, if you think about it, he was the annoying guy, you know? He was Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. Just wouldn't shut up about things.
I would agree with that.
You know, the mouth just kept going. I love the story. I love that I loved it from start to finish. I love that we got to see a little bit more of Bill Foster, too, as Goliath. So I like that they added that. We hadn't seen much of him aside from in Ant-Man. And I do like that Lawrence Fishburne came back to do the voice for him, which was awesome. If you noticed, Ranger Morales was American Ferrara, who, if you don't know, has originally worked with Sebastian Stan once before in Dumb Money. Yep, that's right. You heard me right. She did. So I like that they brought her in as like that guest star, so to speak. But I love that everybody, except for I think it was Obadiah Stane. They didn't get what's his name back to do Obadiah Stane. They had somebody else do the voice. But I love that they tied everything together with how Howard and Maria Stark were supposed to be killed by the Winter Soldier, and Red Guardian's just like, no, stop it. Stop that. And the action sequences were great. Can't really do that. I mean, you could do it in live action now, but it'd be really expensive. Animated version, you can do whatever you want, and I love it.
Pretty much.
I give this 4 what if question marks. I give it 4 what if question marks. It was a good episode. I liked it. It didn't feel stale.
No, it definitely was not stale. I will agree with you 100% on that.
It was wonderful.
Interesting episode. Definitely something that is on the outer limits, I would say.
Yes.
Of what we have seen in the previous 2 seasons and previous two episodes of this season.
Mm-hmm.
In the What If universe. Definitely outside on the outer rims of where they've been. I enjoyed the episode. It was, the fight scenes were good. The interference with the Starks dying, I think is a good thing. But at the same time, if they don't die, what happens?
Truth.
They never got into that.
No.
They didn't even touch on that, other than to show them shoving Stark into an ambulance.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that being a good episode for What If. What if Stark really did survive the assassination attempt? I think that would be a good episode.
I mean, technically he did with this one.
Well, yeah, but focused on him, not on.
True.
Right.
I could see that.
Like I said, I enjoyed the episode. It was good. It was on the outer rims. The spewing of the Russian propaganda, even at the end of the episode,
I knew you were going to go
kind of put me off.
I knew you were going to go there.
I just can't help it. It's me. It's the way that I am and everything. But it didn't ruin the episode. Yeah,
episode.
It didn't ruin the episode for me.
Clip that.
But it definitely had an effect on it.
Okay.
3.5 question marks.
All right, not bad. Not
3.5.
bad. Not bad at all, actually. Not bad at all.
Nakia says that she can't rate it since she has not watched it yet. Depending on how busy she is at work tomorrow, she'll watch it then.
And completely understandable. Well, we're going to go right into it with, because that one was actually probably one of the longer episodes, if I remember correctly.
It's about 35 minutes.
Yeah, about 35 minutes. Because, it took us almost the whole hour to do this first episode. But this next episode, episode 5, this one, I freaking loved. I loved this episode. It was so out in left field that it worked. And it worked.
Yeah, perfect. I said episode 3 was on the outer limits.
This one was so much better.
Yeah, episode 3 set the outer limits, and episode 4 blew those limits away.
Yeah. So this one is, what if Howard the Duck got hitched? Now, I will say this for the most part. You do not need to know much about Howard the Duck. Now,
other than the fact that he was a drunk and a gambler.
Yep. Now, aside from that, right off the bat, the title, What If Howard the Duck Got Hitched, is a perfect, and I mean perfect, tie-in, and comes full circle to the original feature film, Howard the Duck. And for those that don't know what I mean, go watch it. It is so bad, it is good. Because...
Yeah, I can't... I can't argue with that evaluation.
Because not only is it so bad it's good, but there was a certain scene in Howard the Duck that this episode 100% links to it. And that would be when Leah Thompson's character in Howard the Duck and Howard get it on. That's right, you heard me correctly. They bump uglies. They get wild with each other. You don't see it, but you know it's there.
They do the beast with two backs.
Now, lady that says, nope, never saw Howard the Duck. Trust me. Just look. You can look up that scene on YouTube and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay?
I did, but it was so freaking long ago that
It's been a
I
while.
don't really remember it. Thank God.
I mean, you can watch it anytime. But so basically what happened was, do you remember in, I think it was season 1 of What If, Thor was throwing a party?
Yes.
Well, Darcy and Howard hooked up at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not only did they hook up, but since they were in Vegas, they got married. They went to one of those Chapel of Love things and got hitched. Well, they too bumped uglies. They had some fun. And Darcy gave birth to an egg. Yep, you heard me right. An egg. I don't know how that big of a thing came out of Darcy, but it
Well, according to her, it was 9 hours of labor.
9 hours of labor, yes.
Mm-hmm.
9 hours of labor. And Darcy's like, well, what kind of creature is going to come out of it? Howard's like, I don't know. Just as long as it's healthy. But then some of those intergalactic guests at Thor's party, Thor invited, had fun, stayed on Earth, connecting the planet with the rest of the galaxy. So you had people from all over the galaxy staying on Earth now, okay? And while Howard and Darcy are living in their own house, they put the egg down to sleep. Yes, the egg down to sleep.
They're living in their own apartment.
Wasn't it an apartment in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
But Topaz from Thor Ragnarok, Grandmaster's assistant, says, hey, come on this grand cruise across the stars as the Grandmaster's guest. You're invited. Have some fun. And they go, okay. And they take the egg with them. They are now aboard the SS Grandmaster. Yes, he's so full of himself, that guy. Who
just a little.
Who was not voiced by one of our favorite actors, because let's face it, the Grandmaster, only one person can really pull him off in person. Only one. Yes. I'm just saying. But Matt Friend, who is a stand-up comedian, does impressions, filled in, which was awesome. And the only reason why he filled in, he's hysterical. The only reason why he filled in was because, well, someone wasn't available, and that's okay. But the Grandmaster welcomes them on the ship and says, all right, what is that? There's an egg. I need that egg. Why don't you put it under my care? Everything will be fine. Enjoy some adult time. Have a ball. Darcy, a very protective mother, by the way, it's like, no, I don't think so. She does the mother hen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really the best way to explain it. Does the mother hen. But takes them out to lunch. And that's when they find out that, lunch is going to be their kid. And that's bad. Very, very bad. They don't want that. Well, before the Grandmaster can announce what brunch was, Yondu shows up. Hey, Michael Rooker's back as Yondu. Yay. I don't think anybody can actually play Yondu better than Michael Rooker. I really don't. Like, he is Yondu. Kind of like Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Soon to be Doctor Doom. That's a different story. We'll get there. But I really think Michael Rooker is the best at Yondu. But he takes the egg, kidnaps it. He needs it. I don't know if they actually say why he needed the egg. Did he?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Didn't think so. Well,
Initiator!
what's up, man? How are you, sir? And hello to people still watching on TikTok. Chime in if you want, man. Just saying. Chime in. Well, while they're escaping, Howard and Darcy decide to steal a ship and go after the Ravagers. But the Ravagers, the Ravagers go through a jump point and are gone. They go poof and disappear. And that's okay. But while that happens, they're pissed off. They're angry. They're upset. Darcy's practically in tears, but she calls Nick Fury and goes, what's going on here? Why are they after my egg? Tell me, what's going on? And Fury tells Darcy that the due date of her child coincided with the convergence. Now, I'm not 100% sure if everybody remembers what the convergence is. But let me remind you, the convergence happened in Thor: The Dark World, where all 9 realms were kind of, in that position where you can go from one to the other without any problems. Okay? Happens every 5,000 years. The 9 realms are just synchronized. And you can do what you need to. Now, don't get me wrong, Thor: The Dark World was probably one of the least favorite MCU movies, but still worked storyline-wise, okay? So with the convergence, now we're tying things together, and Phil Coulson is like, by the way, I tracked down the Ravagers. They're going to the Collector, so now we got to go to nowhere. Because that's where the Collector is. Nowhere. Yondu shows up at the museum with the egg, and Karina introduces the Collector. Only the Collector is not the Collector. It's Caecilius from Doctor Strange. And he sent the Collector to the mirror dimension, so he can't get out. Yondu is like, well, this is rare. My price just went up. Pay me, or you're not getting it. Initiator, oh, that movie that everyone ignores. That convergence? Yes. Actually, I think everybody's more ignoring Thor: Love and Thunder than The Dark World. But, again, topic for another day.
That's for sure.
Just putting it out there. So while he says, hey, listen, the price just went up, Caecilius says, well, Dormammu is here and he ain't gonna bargain.
I don't negotiate.
He don't negotiate at all. Initiator says, to be fair, most of Thor movies were forgettable. First one was decent. Second one, meh. Third one, yay. Fourth one, ugh. But that's besides the point. So while Caecilius is saying that Dormammu is not going to bargain, he takes the egg and he leaves the zealots to kill Yondu. Howard and Darcy show up at nowhere and are going through the sewer system. I didn't understand this point. Like,
that's the way he knows. That's how he escaped.
Well, and that's where, I get it. And he even mentioned that's how he escaped. We went through the sewer system. But even Darcy's like, but why are we doing this? Like, why can't we just walk around nowhere and be done with it? So while they're in the sewer system, the zealots are now preparing for a ritual, and Caecilius is planning to offer the baby up as a sacrifice to Dormammu so he can come from the dark dimension and be here in the MCU dimension. Now, I watched this way before JT did, okay? And my original thought was JT is either going to love this episode or he's going to hate it. Just because of how far-fetched all of this is. But it was done for a reason.
At this point, this is not far-fetched.
No, not far-fetched at all.
Knowing what's coming.
Yes.
This is like borderline far-fetched.
Yes. So, the ritual, as it's about to begin, gets interrupted by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, which, again, I don't know how S.H.I.E.L.D. knew how to get to nowhere because they've never been to nowhere. I mean, we've always
This is the what if universe, so everybody knows everything.
Well, true. Plus, this is I get it. It's a different Earth. Other aliens are staying on Earth and everything. I get it, but they've never been there. Fury and Coulson confront Caecilius. They get the egg, going, no, we're keeping it. Howard and Darcy are like, no, that's our kid. We're going to take it. And Fury goes, well, that egg is way too powerful and we can't trust you.
You can't handle it.
What?
You never tell the mother
No.
of a newborn that she can't handle it.
And especially one that's in an egg and still hasn't hatched yet.
Right, because it's only partially born at that point.
It's still cooking.
Yeah, it's still cooking.
So, before all hell breaks loose, Caecilius tries to transport everyone to the mirror dimension. However, S.H.I.E.L.D., the zealots are all fighting over the egg, and Howard and Darcy manage to get the egg and leave. They manage to escape. They get on the Commodore, and S.H.I.E.L.D. sends out an intergalactic alert to retrieve the egg because they are now wanted fugitives. I'm like, this is like one bad thing after another. Okay? So
you hardly even started.
So Howard's like, all right, we got to lay low. We need a place to stay. And they go to Jotunheim and they see Loki.
We're pitching them on a ski resort.
Yeah. Loki, the prince, he's the prince. He's also a prince of Asgard still, by the way. Initiator, is this a new what if thing? Yes, this is. This is episode 4 of season 3. So Loki is trying to sell them on this ski resort and timeshare at the same time. So while that happens, Shield arrives, demands that the ducks hand over the egg. Laufey is like, no, we're going to restore this place to its former glory. Let's go. Let's wage some war, have some fun, and kill people. Loki tells him, wait a minute. Let's not jump to any conclusions here. And then Zeus shows up. Zeus shows up, says he is claiming ownership of the egg. And that's when Howard and Darcy are on a run. They are on the run with the egg. We've got the Olympians chasing them, Frost Giants, Malekith shows up, Zealots, the Black Order shows up, the Grandmaster, and yes, even Thanos are now all chasing Howard and Darcy and this damn egg. The entire time I'm watching this, first of all, I'm dying. I'm like, this is great. This is fantastic. And then the second thing I'm thinking of is, I need to know what JT's face looks like when he watches this. I wish I told him to, put the phone on and video chat with me while he and Kay watch this.
Hey, man, FaceTime me when you watch episode 4.
I should have, because I would have... I would have been laughing at your reactions than anything. But, again, there's a rhyme and reason that they did this, okay? So, Zeus brings his ship down. The egg gets sent down on the ground. And while that's happening, Howard catches the egg in time and runs off with Darcy. Loki saves them from his father. Said, go, run, get away. More and more enemies are closing in because you've got S.H.I.E.L.D., you've got the Olympians, you got the Asgardians, you got the Dark Elves, you got the Black Order, Thanos, Grandmaster. They're all coming after them. And they get to the point where Howard and Darcy don't have anywhere else to go. They're trapped. They're stuck with everybody converging on them. And they start singing a kiss song to them, to the child.
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me.
Which I'm sure Gene Simmons was rolling in the dough when Marvel paid for that.
Might have been rolling in his grave, even though he's not in a grave.
Also true. And that's when the egg starts to glow. Not only does it start to glow, but it raises up in the air. Howard and Darcy keep singing, and all of a sudden, these energy bolts just shoot out from the egg in every single direction that you can think of. You name it. It shoots anyone that tries to get close to the egg.
For a little bit.
For a little bit. However, everybody is now trying to get the egg. And then it hatches. And we see a huge burst of energy. And it takes everyone out. And that's when Howard and Darcy finally see their baby. Not only a baby, but a baby girl that they named Birdie. Birdie the duck. Fury flat out goes, I was wrong. Maybe the best place is with her parents. You think, Fury? Seriously?
Right.
Just putting it out there? So Loki goes to his dad. Can we offer them a lodge at the slopes? Look, Laufey's like, yeah, sure. Darcy's
We'll comp you some rooms.
yeah. But Darcy's like, no, we're going home.
Well, and there's only one problem with that. When they're sitting there and they're sitting there with Loki and they're talking and everything, and Loki thinks, well, S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up, and Loki thinks that that Thor is arriving, and it wasn't Thor.
Nope.
The lodge got exploded.
It went kaboom.
Yeah, it got exploded big time.
It really did.
So, how are you going to comp them rooms in a lodge that doesn't exist anymore?
Well, I mean, anything's possible. Just saying, anything's possible. You know?
Just say. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm just saying, it's possible. So anyway, they get back home, and they flat out say, "This is where we want to be as a family. We want to be home." And while back on Earth in their apartment, they Howard and Darcy are putting their child to sleep, and they decide to call her Birdie. And of course, as you know, the episode ends, they put her down and she's sleeping, and then she wakes up and they come running to start singing their song again. And then that's the end of the episode. Now, I can't wait to give you mine, but I really, really want JT's opinion on this, because I know why they did this episode the way they did. I really do. I know why they did.
Because they had to figure out a way for this person to be born?
Well, yes. That is...
That's my only guess.
That is not in question, but yes.
Let's see. How do we do this? I'm going to break the PG-13 barrier here for a minute.
By all means. Now, mind you, I don't want to give the reason they did this episode until after you give your rating, because I don't want you to change.
No, I'm good. You're okay. All good. What the fuck?
I knew you were going to go that route. I really did. I knew you were going to go that route.
I looked at Kay like maybe 10 minutes into this episode.
Yep.
And said something along the lines of, this is the furthest outside of any realm of reality that What If has ever gone to this point.
Wasn't it great?
And I'm glad I said to this point, because it got a lot worse.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about this for a minute, okay? We had the Ducks,
yes,
as they were referred to as in this episode.
Yes. Well, I mean, they were married.
Yes. So we had the Ducks. We had S.H.I.E.L.D. We had Zeus.
Yes.
We had Loki and his dad.
Yep.
We had the Olympians, the Frost Giants, Malekith, the Zealots, the Black Order, the Grandmaster, and even Thanos.
Yep.
Along with their minions.
Yes, the Chitauri. Yes, they were in it too.
All chasing after one egg
Yeah.
that was conceived by a duck, born by a human
Uh-huh.
on the night that all the planets aligned,
Yes.
also known as
The nine
the convergence.
realms. The nine realms. The convergence.
Yes.
Come on.
The beginning of this episode was strange. I mean, just truly strange, especially when they showed that they had an egg, not a baby. Okay, that was kind of weird, you know, especially when you look at the size of the egg and the fact that Darcy is not split in half.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big egg.
And they didn't do it by C-section.
Yep.
It just got really, really weird. But then once they got to Jotunheim,
Yep.
then it got funny.
Well,
It
yeah.
was creeping its way towards funny in the middle 10, you know. But once it got there and the lodge exploded, it was just pure freaking stupid funny.
It was chaos, is what it was.
It was freaking, you know, it was. I'm trying to think of a movie or something that had anything like this that would be able to give somebody a visual
Okay.
of what was going on in this episode, but it was 90% celestial beings
Yep. Yep.
that were doing this. And I mean, it was the Keystone Cops on meth, acid, coke, and uppers.
Yes.
The only way I can think of describing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Abbott and Costello's baseball bit
Okay.
on freaking steroids.
That works. That works.
Honestly, I don't really know what to think of this episode. I mean, as far as the what if premise,
Yep.
okay, and what the idea is behind the what if multiverse thing,
Mm-hmm.
they smoked it
Oh, absolutely.
with this episode. They blew it out of the freaking water and out of the Earth's atmosphere and out of the universe. I'll even go as far as to say they blew it out of all 9 realms.
All right.
Okay. There's so much I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. So I will just say this. Due to the comedy of errors in the last 10 minutes of this show, and I'm sorry, but that is the only way that you can describe it, is a comedy of errors.
It was great. He's so torn. It's great.
I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4. I was sitting at 3.
I'm impressed.
I was right in the middle because of just how freaking stupid
I am
and
so
outside any realm of reasonableness the storyline was.
I am so proud of you.
But the comedy of errors at the end raised it up.
Yeah, listen, I am very proud of you.
I laughed hard enough to bring it from a 3 to a 4.
Yeah.
That tells you how close I was to falling out of my freaking
I like
easy
it.
chair.
I like it.
There you go. I'm giving it a 4. Nakai says, boy, I can't wait to watch these 2 episodes tomorrow at work.
Yeah, you're going to love them. I guarantee it. But you're going to have to watch the other 2 after this, too. So I am giving this week's this one, this was great. I'm giving it a 4.
I'm going to guess 4.5.
What?
I'm going to guess a 4.5.
No, I was actually going 4.25.
Oh, I was close.
4.25. I was kind of hoping we'd see a little bit more characters show up, but otherwise,
Dude, they couldn't fit any more in there.
Oh yes, you could. Hell yeah, you could have. Now,
I don't know where they were running out of damn room.
The reason that I like this episode so much was the fact that it was like reading a Howard the Duck comic. It was all over the place. It was so absurd. It was great. And
the entire time that you were watching it, you were sitting there going, you know what? I'm going to give this a 1/4 point just because I know how JT is going to react to this thing.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I mean,
it was crazy.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going to go with a 3.5, but I'm like, nah, he's going to give this at least a 4. At least.
Like I said, I almost went with a 3.
I mean, to me, it's so absurd. It's wonderful.
it is so genius. It's absurd is the way that this should be described.
There you go. I like that.
It is so genius that it is absurd. This is one of the rare circumstances where the absurdity comes second to the genius of writing this episode and everything involved in it.
Oh, yeah. Hands down. Well, that, my friends, is this week's episode. What'd I do?
No. Why was this baby born?
Oh, I can't tell you. I can't say why she was born. I can't.
You said you were going to.
No, I said I can't tell you yet.
Oh, okay.
I can't tell you.
My misunderstanding.
Because otherwise, if I tell you, I'm going to give stuff away, and I can't. Nope. Nope. We still got, 5 episodes left?
4.
4?
8 episodes total.
That's right. There was 8 total. You're right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So yeah, I can't tell you, but you'll find out. That, my friends, is the end of this week's Avenger Pretenders podcast. With the craziness that's going to be happening this week, there will be no Sully show tomorrow, for I will be DJing, and I may go live on TikTok while I'm DJing, so we can show some of the dancers doing some line dancing, which will be fantastic. I'm glad I don't really have a niche, but it'll be wonderful. Lady that says, you can't tell JT, but you can message me and tell me. No, I can't. Nope. Nope. I do not want it to be ruined for either of you. Just saying. Not happening. So,
have a good night, Carol.
We will be live next Monday for episodes 5 and 6 of What If Season 3. And we will be back live next Tuesday for the Sully Show, because we got a lot to talk about when it comes to the Super Bowl. And, I don't like not having a show after the Super Bowl, but it's a very, very, very busy week. Very, very, very busy week. So, tomorrow, we're off from the Sully Show, but we will be live next week. We will see you all next Monday. And as always, Thanos was right. For JT, there he is.
Except in this episode.
No, he was very wrong.
Yeah. He got killed in this episode.
He's the redneck, and I am the geek. We will see you next week for Avenger Pretenders. Have a great night. Enjoy your week. Have a happy Valentine's Day if we don't see you. And so long, and thanks for all the fish.